Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome from Whitley Bay Ice Rink. I'm Adam Matman, and joining me for this one is Carl Wood. Carl, how's it going, my friend?
Fantastic, great to be here. I've missed this. Really looking forward to this game. Two good teams today, so going to see some good hockey.
We are indeed. Great to see you back. Title decider. Just a point is required by the Beacons to sew the championship up, and playing the second place team, so it couldn't be really a better matchup, could it?
No, and that's the thing. I mean, I know a few of the gals on the visiting team here, and I mean, they're ice hockey players, ball hockey players, just sports enthusiasts, and they're going to come out hard and strong. So it'll be a good challenge today.
It will indeed, yeah. It looks like a pretty strong bench by the Shadows, but equally so for the Beacons. It looks like there's going to be 3 forward lines and 3 D pairings, including the former 2 Shadows players, Abby Rowbottom and Caitlin Stock. So I'm sure they'll be fired up for this one.
Well, they look pretty good in that warm-up. They certainly got the legs moving already, so that'll be good to see.
It will indeed. As looks like Alison Brain is starting for the Shadows. She's one of the good players at the Sheffield club. Hazel Wilson will centre at top line as well. For the Beacons, it's going to be Steph Towns, of course, centering Abby Coulshaw and Ruby Newlands as the puck goes into the Shadow zone. It'll be cleared around the boards, but not too far. Coulshaw straight to Towns, who fires short side. Coulshaw picks up the puck. Newlands will cycle behind the net. Good close control there by the Kilmarnock forward. And Towns, as the Beacon cycling down low, she fires an early shot that's going to be held on to by Kirsty Robson, but bright start that from the home side.
Well, they entered that zone with some jump, got into the corner, did some great cycling, 2 shots away on goal already. That's a great start.
It is indeed, as we get an offensive zone face-off. Steph Towns will take the draw. It's Vicky Smith and Casey Trail on the top D pairing. As Towns will control, she just needs another 6 points to make it a combined 1,000 between her and her father Paul for Whitley Bay Hockey. So not out of the realms of possibility that she could get the job done today, but I'm sure her first forward is just to get that point required to clinch top spot. As the poke check comes in from Casey Trell, she'll break the play up. Judy Brown will push out. Allows the Beacons to regather in the corner, but nice forecheck this by the Shadows as they try and force a turnover.
Well, this looks like their strength line for the Shadows. This is a team you don't want to get into a wrestling match with. Yeah,
exactly. And shot coming in, and Megan Craig will hold on. So that's her first action of the game. And she'll be happy just to get a mitt on the puck and get herself in the game, I guess.
Well, that's it, exactly. You want to get in as quickly as you can, so a good couple of shots to start it off will help.
It will indeed, yeah. As pucks centre around the boards, over on the far side, collected and controlled as Beacons will look to carry. See Kate Ord, Becky Kastner-Wood and Kimberly Brengenline. It's out there. And I mean, as we say, pretty much every week Becky can play with anyone really, but she has worked well in the past with both Kate and Kimberly. As shot comes in from distance, it's charged down. The Shadows will look to get a break on here. It's going to be cool for icing as Aisling Rafter gets there first. Not quite 2 minutes on the clock, but the Beacons with a couple of good half chances there, and one save for Megan Craig to make. So a bright start for both teams really.
Alan, it's good offense by that second line. They've got zone, got a shot on net already. Now they've got a face-off in the zone, so let's get control and get some more shots.
Yeah, the Sheffield-born pairing on the blue line for the Beacons then, Abby Rowbottom and Caitlin Stocks. Puck comes out, Caitlin will keep it inside the zone, still looking for her first official point in a Beacons jersey, although having seen the video footage back, she definitely got some against Slough the other week as the puck just crosses back over into the offensive zone for an offside.
I thought it was a hand pass, but
was it
maybe
a hand
you're right. Or a bit of both, perhaps.
Yeah, possibly. But we'll go with you, Carl, because I'm often wrong on these things.
It's good to see 2 refs out here today for this game.
Yeah, Mel Lydell is one of them, and Chris Lutz on the far side, as Sheffield will dig the puck out. Look to carry along the boards, but it's won back by Danielle Turnbull. Her work rate is second to none. There's a shot from the far side. Sav Sumner comes back for the backhanded shot, maybe, and then Claire Turnbull, but it was Danielle Turnbull who was at the blocker side there, Carl, almost squeezing home the opener.
That was incredible. There was like two opportunities there to put that puck in the net. Just a little bit of an unlucky bounce.
It was, yeah. So this third line will stay out there for the Beacons. Hazel Wilson works it back. Sav Sumner goes into the corner and will force a turnover. And then controlled by Claire Turnbull, tried to set it up from Gretzky's office. And kept in on the far side by Casey Trail, yeah. I was thinking she just delayed there. Perhaps it might have just crept over and she was waiting for her teammates to get back on side as Sav Sumner goes towards goal. One-timer from Steph Towns charged down. Casey Trail will fire, forces a save from Kirsty Robson, but she'll gather that into the logo and hold on. But yeah, some early shots still from the Beacons.
Well, that's it. I mean, that shot clock is going up, and it's good to see. I mean, play to the odds, many shots as you can, and something will go in.
Yeah.
That goalie's got a good catcher hand there. She's been pretty quick already.
She has, hasn't she? Yeah. Yeah, she's been with the Shadows for a number of years now, I believe. Kirsty Robson, strong custodian between the pipes. There's a shot from distance. It's wide of the net. Abby Coulshaw will collect and gather and make her way up the left wing, try to feed Steph Towns' puck, just getting away from her. Allowed the Shadows to clear. As Beacons will control in their defensive zone, look to build the play once again. Towns will have a nice pass out wide to Ruby Newlands, drop of her shoulder, she's in behind, try to play it back to Steph Towns, but picked off by the Shadows D, and they'll carry out.
She's pulling a Paul Coffey here, look at that.
Yeah, Yella Bilby, who played for the Shadows B team yesterday against the Beacons B, had a very strong game indeed, only a youngster, but very strong future in the game, there's no doubt about that.
Got a good hockey sense, taking advantage of the opportunity when it come up. It's good to see. Yeah,
it is. As Judy Brown fires in from distance, collected on the left wing. And the Beacons looking to work their way out, but Rachel Stockdale put under a little bit of pressure. She'll just have to check back, and then this forecheck by the Shadows working well. Becky Castor-Wood, though, trying to break the play up off Hazel Taylor, a good friend.
Mortal enemy.
Yeah, enemies on the ice for the next hour and a half, but
that's it.
Bestie's off it as it comes across, shot blocked.
Great pass across by Hazel Taylor.
Yeah, she's got good vision, hasn't she?
Absolutely.
Kimberly Brengham with a nice layoff, but it's read well by Hazel Taylor once again. And fed her teammate in the slot. And then a Cooper it was, who's wears the number 2. Additionally a defensive number, but plays on the wing. Kimberly Brengham will gather. She's already looked up for an option. Kate Ord was screened, so Kimberly's going to go it herself here. Gets a shot away, but across the face of goal, and just allows the line change to take place, really, more than anything.
Yeah, smart play, exactly. Got people off the ice and fresh line on.
Yeah, and Hazel Taylor looked to steal in again, but Sav Sumner will enter the zone. Taylor wins it back, though. Good battle along the boards, this, as now comes loose for Claire Turnbull. She'll tussle.
Battle in the corner. Got to be quick with your stick.
Shadows looking to carry out with Hazel Taylor. Once again, long shift for her. People will charge down. Aisling Rafter goes with her.
Oh, pretty nifty hands for that gal.
Yeah, isn't she just? Yeah. Eleanor Cooper trying to go short side, but Megan Craig will cover that one up and stop it in its tracks. And looks like the Shadows top line is going to be back out there, matching up against the Beacons third line. And Hazel Wilson, who centres that line, and Alison Brain, who's on the puck now, is a very good player. I've been impressed with her over the years. One of the danger players for the Shadows. Collected by Danielle Turnbull. Nice poke check there by Alison Brain, who forces a turnover. Hazel Wilson will carry heads up play, try to feed a line mate on the far side. So somebody got a piece of it, just was enough to break that flowing move up. But the puck still enters the zone and then forces Megan Craig into a save. Oh, and it's come through. It just bounced through between a blocker and a stick, I think, didn't it?
Absolutely. She got lucky there.
And a shot blocked by Abby Rowbottom. Took that one in the shin. Caitlin Stocks will be there to sweep up. And then some good play along the boards by Claire Turnbull. The feed Danielle Turnbull just sails under her stick. Back off the boards. Emma Painter, the third of the Sheffield-born players on this Beacon side. Abby Coulshaw with a vital touch. Nice quick play off the boards by Ruby Newlands, but the Shadows were quick to read the play. It was Alison Brain again who was quick to pounce on it. Now Ruby will enter the zone on the right wing. Steph Towns already got a weapon ready to be fired. The stick was pulled back, ready for a massive slap shot. She was anticipating it, as all good snipers are, I guess.
That was a nice little shake and bake there by Ruby, just to shake that D off her.
Yeah, she's really grown, hasn't she, in these last few weeks, these last few months, and I think just the confidence and the talent's really coming to the fore, isn't it? And you can see why she's part of this senior GB team now.
Well, you just see her hand skills as she's receiving passes and then controlling it to get a pass off, and just her stick handling as well. She's terrific. Yeah,
from what I've heard, is she's very coachable in the respect that she listens to what she's told, and if the coach tells her to go out and do it, she'll do it, and that's a good poke check then, and gets a second bite of it, and she'll carry it in. Nice drag back once again, and then puck just getting away from her, but puck almost joined by a string there onto the end of her stick.
Well, I mean, she's looking elite level here for sure.
She is, yeah. She's had some elite level experience, obviously last season with the Beacons, been playing with the Kingston Diamonds this year.
Some puck watching going on here. Oh, careful.
Yeah, Steph Towns will play it to Kate Ord. Yellett Bilby doing some good play there. Again, impressive young defender. Worked back by Kimberly Brengan. Judy Brown will dump in. Puck comes back from the end boards. Vicky Smith will gather, who leads all Whitley defenders in points this season. Just about kept in. That couldn't have been any closer, Carl, could it?
Wow. Talk about struggling to get it over your own blue line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just didn't have the legs to carry over.
It looked like they were trying to do a line change at the same time.
Yeah, it didn't do them any favours. As goes back into the Beacon zone. Becky Castor-Wood with some of the best hands in the business, trying to carry the puck out. And then short side with the Shadows. That's a good chance here. Still sort of digging away from caught up in the netting. But I mean, you'd have to say after that bright start by the Beacons, the Shadows have grown into a game, and they've had some good chances of their own.
Absolutely. It seems when they get zoned, they're good at keeping it in there. They're hemming the D down low and making it awkward for puck control, for getting it out. So going to have to be careful there.
I think most of the smart money this season was on Whitley winning the league, with Sheffield pushing them closest, and that has certainly been the case. You would imagine both will meet in the playoffs.
Absolutely.
And obviously these are the last two sides to be relegated from the Elite League, so you can see that there's the pedigree within both sides and the tradition that they are strong clubs.
Well, this is how rivalries are made, so it'll be good watching them when the playoffs come around.
It certainly will, yeah. And I say, when you've got players who've had a foot in both camps at some point, it always adds to it, I'm sure. I know the likes of Caitlin Stock, she's played for the Sheffield Titans men's team in recent weeks, so well done to her for that. And always good to see that the girls getting some ice time on the men's teams. It's beneficial. As Abby Coulshaw knows with Bradford, and Jodie Alderson-Smith, I should say, since she's been married, who plays for Coventry.
Well, every little bit helps, and I mean, you can, get into those games where it is a different speed and pace, and if you can keep your head up in those games, then bringing it back here will certainly help.
Well, indeed, yeah. Steph Towns will collect that from in front of her crease. Nice drag back, work some space for herself. Will find Abby Coulshaw. who controls. Nice drop pass, one-timer from Townsend, forces Kirsty Robson into a save. With just over 9 minutes left in the period, still goalless here. Casey Trail will fire one in and scores! She beats Kirsty Robson like a rented mule and gives the Beacons a 1-0 lead.
That was a great shot, far side with that one, just above the catcher. Wow, what a shot.
It was indeed. I mean, it just didn't see it past her. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be honest with you, but she connected perfectly. It was sort of mid-height at the net, but fantastic strike.
Well, that shot had eyes.
It certainly did, yeah. I think Kirsty Robson doesn't know whether to cry or wind her watch, does she? It was past her before she knew it. As it's carried out on the left wing side by the Shadows. Good defensive coverage by Abby Coulshaw. Her work rate's tremendous, I always think. As Leeming will dump back in. Keeps it inside the zone. Beacons trying to carry out, and that'll be Steph Towns who will regather possession deep in her defensive zone. And then Coulshaw will look to break. Puck just getting away from her. Oh, and puck was loose. Whistle had gone, but there's always an argument where if you can see a bit of that black rubber, you're going to go for it, aren't you?
Absolutely. Bit of a premature whistle there, but I mean, he wasn't really in a position to see it come loose, unfortunately.
No, I think that's quite right, Carl. As we're back underway then. Beacons with that 1-0 lead. Coming at a vital time when the Shadows had worked some shots, and Kate Ord with a chance of her own. Again, the Beacons are probably saying that was a quick whistle, but absolute laser beam from Kate Ord, which was almost forced the rebound.
Well, it just dropped flat in front of the goalie, and I don't think she really knew where it was either. So, I mean, you're going to see your winger putting your stick in there to, get that loose puck.
Yeah, you are. And you'd expect her to do that. That's what you want from your forwards. There's Becky Castor-Wood. Will feed Kate Ord. She'll control, and then nice pass back for Kim Brengan again. It was loose, and she stabbed away on the doorstep, but Kirsty Robson will cover it up. But some good play this by the second line.
Some great three-way passing there. I mean, just to get down low, draw the defense in, and opens up in the high slot for the pass and a quick shot.
Doing a good job of keeping the puck in the offensive zone as well, and trying to grind the Shadows down a little bit, and it's good to see.
Well, it's the hard work in the corners that will pay dividends.
Absolutely. As puck's cleared, Shadows will push out. Caitlin Stocks will chase after Hazel Taylor.
Oh, cheeky little move there.
Wasn't it just? Yeah, almost pulled off a spinorama. She did that, didn't she? I think she might have done if the boards hadn't got in the way. There's a nice little setup play here. Great save by Megan Craig. She saw it late, but got a glove to it. What a fantastic save that was. That was a highlight reel save, really.
Absolutely. She's sharp. She's got the physical awareness going on here. She knows what's going on.
One back by the Beacons, and Vicky Smith, who's on a pairing with Aisling Rafter right now. So 6D for the Beacons today. As Shadows will control with Hazel Wilson. Good hands from her, who's
forced her out of the zone. Cough up. Here we go.
Yeah, Claire Turnbull in behind. Can she finish? Oh, it's a good bit of play there in the end by the Sheffield player. Heavy collision into her boards, but it was Yellett Bilby, I think, who managed to get a stick on that from behind, and it's never easy to execute that, but fantastic move, because I think she stopped Claire just as she was in the action of shooting.
Exactly. Just took that shot away from her. It's like stick on stick.
Yeah. She's, as I say, she's a youngster with a bright future in the game. Rowan Yellett Bilby. She's, was certainly part of the Sheffield teams last year, but she seems to be standing out more this year, and looks very much a bright prospect as Hazel Wilson will fire from distance, fires back off the ball. She's one of the ball hockey players you were mentioning before, Carl.
Absolutely, playing for the women's GB Masters team.
Yeah, and a daughter also plays for Sheffield Shadows B. She was playing yesterday against the Beacons B. So a lot of hockey in her family. As it's dumped in, Abby Rowbottom will get there first. It's going to be a nice and cool on. No, it's not, is it?
Yeah,
it is.
icing.
Oh, you was just saying you need to replace the change that had made. Yeah.
There's a call up for the Shadows. Sarah Lowe, number 59.
Yeah.
On the defense there. She's a GB girl as well. Masters and seniors for ball hockey.
Yeah, it's another good addition that they've got. It's a strong hockey club, the Shadows. As Abby Coulshaw lets a shot off and scores. Drills it into the bottom of the net and doubles the Beacons' advantage with 5:41 left in this opening period.
Well, there were lots of bodies in front of the net there, so that was going to be hard for the goalie to see anything coming through. So it was a smart play by Abby just to come right up the gut.
It was, yeah, and the captain coming up with the goods there. That's what's the mark of a good side, though, isn't it, Carl? When they've weathered that storm, they've soaked up that pressure, and then they've been able to strike like that with two fantastic finishes.
They caught them flat-footed in that instance there, and that's what you want. Activate quickly. Yep. Don't hesitate. Get in the zone and get your shots on. Nice
play by Ruby Newlands to feed Abby Coulshaw. Ruby will chase after it once again and steals it back. She is linking up so well with both Steph Towns and Abby Coulshaw, and that's maybe been the problem over the last couple of years, is trying to find the perfect fit on that top line alongside them. But Ruby's sort of made that spot her own now, hasn't she?
Well, Ruby's kind of one of these players where I think because she plays her position so well, she can actually play with anybody.
Yeah. Blocker save by Kirsty Robson. Pushed out. Steph Towns will regather. Fired. Try to go top shelf there and squeeze it in. Kirsty Robson covering it off. Katie Trout calling for it. And she's certainly finding her form again following a double hip operation. Great to see Casey back and skating well and getting goals.
Absolutely. The thing with her too, I mean, is that she's got the hockey IQ as well. So if she's lacking in, the physical ability at the moment, her brain is still working for her, and she'll make smart plays every time. Yeah,
it's a good challenge there by Alison Brain on Kimberly Brengan. Kimberly just looked over and took note of her, because normally that's sort of Kimberly's sort of role that she does. So sort of beating at her own game a little bit there, but Kim works it back now, and we'll find Emma Painter, who's alongside Abby Rowbottom. Kate Ord will gather in front of the boards, goes rink wide with a pass, and that will set Kimberly Brengan away. Just about keeps it inside the zone though. Now she'll have to retreat, but good play along those right wing boards with just under 4 minutes remaining in this opening period. Abby Rowbottom forward, it's picked off by Alison Brain. And then Judy Brown tried to centre it, but took a deflection, I think, on the way through.
It's been a bit awkward. I mean, the Beacons have controlled the puck through the neutral zone, but couldn't get any passes forward. So we're trying to activate their D, and they've been great passes, but the D have just kind of lost a little bit of control, which is.
Oh, that was almost a good give and go between Becky Castner-Wood and Kate Ord. It was,
so it's just pucks not staying on sticks and kind of creating some problems.
But a great, just going back to that passage of play there, great reading of the game between those two, great understanding, and almost perfectly executed as well.
Yeah, it makes me think we'll see that again.
Yes, I hope so. But Judy Brown wins it back, fires. Megan Craig makes a stop. It took a deflection off part of her body. Got the save done. Banked off the boards, sent over. Still control, that was Rachel Stockdale, and now Claire Turnbull helps it on its way. Just about squeezed back inside though by O'Brien, number 63. As,
struggling to get it out here.
They are, yeah, and Shadow's doing a good job of that though, and making it difficult for the Beacons. There's a nice play off the boards by Saf Sumner. She'll collect her own rebound. Shots deflected away.
Stick on stick again, that's why she couldn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, again, Shadow's doing a good job of doing that. They're clearly a well-coached side. There's Aisling Rafter switches a play to Casey Trail.
That was a hard one because that put it on her backhand, so she couldn't get the shot off.
Yeah, she had to readjust, and then it was over on the boards. But it's good to see that the D pairings are getting switched up regularly, so everyone's sort of getting a chance alongside everybody and trying to work out the pairings. I mean, I think the forwards tend to be, they more pick themselves, don't they? But the D pairings is a little bit different, I think. As Casey Trail wins that one back, but quick play again by Lowe. Over on the far side, Steph Towns, who just slammed the brakes on and made sure she didn't creep offside there.
Well, that was a good play by the Shadows to hold the line there. It forced the Beacons back.
On it squeezed in by Kimberly Brengan, I think it was, at the back post. Well, that caught everyone off guard, I think, there, but Beacons with a 3-0 lead with 1:14 left in the first period. Well, the period couldn't have gone much better, really, Carl, in that respect.
Absolutely. Sure that wasn't Ruby who scored that?
Oh, it was Ruby. Yes, my apologies. It was. I saw the 7. I thought it was 97. She's. I should have known her flowing red locks, but she didn't look quite so red from that angle.
She's moving too fast.
Yes, I think so. It was a blur. I think it's the lighting in Hillheads will put it down to
there
that.
There you go.
my apologies.
Great goal, though. That was a backhanded wraparound.
Yeah. And Iona Harrison getting her first shift of the game. That's good to see. I just saw her at the end of the bench, wondering when she would get some ice time. She's the 10th forward, and I think Steph said to her, you know, you'll be on. Oh, it's a trip.
Penalty shot, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good shout. I mean, you would have expected her to have got a shot off in that situation, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. No penalty shot.
No. It's going to be a power play to the Beacons, though, with just under 50 seconds left in the period.
Well, it's a great time for Harrison to be on.
It is, yeah. She was saying that Steph had said to her, well, you might not get many shifts, but you know, we want you to be part of the team anyway, and you know, because she has been a prominent player in recent weeks. But it's good to see that she has got on this early in the game, and at 3-0 up, I guess you can put her on, but she's well. She's there on merit anyway, isn't she? She's talented. She is feisty, yeah. Scored a hat-trick in each of our last 2 appearances for the Beacons in this team. Scored one for Beacons B as well at Grimsby. So she's and again got a goal yesterday. So she's very much amongst the goals right now. She's a striker for Cullercoats Ladies Football Club as well. So
wow, good for her.
Certainly knows how to put objects in the back of the net. As carried through by Abby Coulshaw. Get the better of Hazel Taylor and then advance into a right wing corner. Kimberly Brengan. Sorry, no, it's yes, it is Kimberly Brengan this time. Casey Trail with the effort, turned aside, and that will do it then for the first period. Beacons very much in the ascendancy right now.
Absolutely, they've just got to be careful in their own end because it could turn on them at any time.
It could. We're going to take a short break. We will be back with you in less than 3 minutes' time, so please don't go anywhere. welcome back to Hillhead's End. I said it would be a short break, it was. And the Beacons with a 3-0 lead right now, as Megan Craig makes her way back between the pipes at the far end of the ice. I say the far end, I mean it's only just, isn't it? We're almost on the red line here, Carl. So
Yeah, exactly.
it's the far end to me, just about.
Yeah.
And both sides just about getting ready to come back onto the ice.
Beacon's goalie is having a good time. She's dancing away to this song as she skated to her net.
Yes. Well, my dad's a big rock fan. I'm assuming the Ramones will be part of his collection, and I'm sure she's used to hearing it in car journeys
There you go.
up and down the country.
Yeah.
As we are ready for the puck drop. And it's... I'm going to switch the lines up. Kimberly Brennan centre in this line between Abby Coulshaw and Ruby Newlands. That's an interesting move with... of course, it's a power play, Adam. Yes, that's why. So Steph Towns has dropped back to the point. Of course, there was that power play that carried over. Shot from Abby Coulshaw, flicks up. It hits Kirsty Robson in the face mask. She'll cover up. And 21 seconds into a period, Beacons with an offensive zone face-off.
That's a scary one. I mean, there's puck coming loose again in front of her, and she's not quite getting a handle on that. If she's not careful, that's going to bite her.
Yeah. Yeah, Beacons, that's maybe something they can exploit. As Katie Trell fires, comes back off the end boards, off the plex even. And Kimberly Brennan will battle for a puck. Steph Towns going in there as well. Walsh will work it free. Now, Ruby Newlands will gather. Nice drop pass to Kimberly Brennan. Back to Casey Trail. Over to Abby Coulshaw. Thought about shooting. Nice pass to Kim Brennan, whose shot is blocked. Comes back to Casey Trail, who will send it around the right wing boards. Walsh will send it along its way. Alison Brain will drop back as well and breaks the play up as well.
Some nice solid passing.
It is, yeah. Steph Towns and Ruby Newlands and Kim Brennan on that one. So Vicky Smith who fires. And that will force Kirsty Robson into a save. She saw it late. She was screened there by a 2D. But gets it covered up. And I think there's only 1 second left on the power play. I'm saying I think because the bulbs are, as everyone must know by now, the bulbs are not in the best working order on the Whitley Bay scoreboard. And indeed that is the Shadows back to full strength. It's worked free. We cleared nicely though by Rachel Butcher, the number 9, who plays on Judy Brown's line, and that is Judy who's dumps the puck into a corner. Aisling Rafter will gather, GB University captain, up to Kimberly Brennan, who races down this right wing. Good to see her with some extended ice time here at the end of that power play. And a one-timer from Kate Ord, who tried to drill it low. She was upended there. Well, that's definitely going to be another power play to a Beacon. She had a leg taken away from her.
That was a bit of a solid hit there too.
Yeah,
Frankie.
Yeah, it was as well.
Collision.
Yeah. But, it's going to be a penalty then to Such, number 58.
I like how they got that out of the defensive zone there. It was, Becca was just behind the goal line, called for the pass. Pass came behind the net. She passed it up to a winger who stretched it through the neutral zone and got in the offensive zone and set that play up.
Yeah, Steph Towns straight from the draw, feeds Abby Coulshaw, fires. So Beacon's going back onto the power play not long after their last one ended. Good clearance by the Shadows though to clear the zone, forces the Beacons to retreat. That will burn about 20 seconds off the clock. There's Ruby Newlands with a nice pass out wide to Trail, who puts back inside, fires. It was a rising shot, and
you could see what corner she was looking at with that shot.
Yeah, couldn't you just? She'll get the puck again. Ruby Newlands doing a good job of quarterback in this power play unit now. That was Steph Towns' role on the previous one, but happy to switch things up a little bit. Now Steph in control, fires, hit O'Brien, I think it was, on the way through, turned aside. Steph will come across and Shadows will dump in.
It's a good aggressive penalty kill by the Shadows. They're playing it quite well.
We are, yeah. Killed the last one off well enough as well, as Coulshaw lays it off to Danielle Turnbull, I think it was, and she returns the pass. Coulshaw will gather, try to feed Casey Trail, picked off by the Shadows. Coulshaw will gather again, back to Townsy for a one-timer, just fires wide of the goal. And that's clear just out of the outstretched stick of Aisling Rafter. She's got time though, she'll get there first with about 30 seconds left on this player advantage. Aisling Rafter carrying it forward into the offensive zone. Becky Catherwood will chase after it. Kate Ord's up there as well.
Oh, puck got stuck in that gap in the boards.
Did, yeah, it's just the second line out there now for the Beacons. They'll stick with it, I guess, until the penalty will tick down. Aisling Rafter will dig out the corner over to Vicky Smith.
Head up.
Kennedy Brennan doing well to get there first, and then another good challenge with Hazel Taylor coming in. And then a Cooper will tip in and chase. Kim Brennan gets there first once again. Such a strong worker, hard worker in them corners and along the boards as well, and she'll get it a third time now. And clear. Oh, that hit somebody high up. I think it was Hazel Wilson. Didn't seem to bother her too much though,
No,
which is a good
not at
thing.
all.
That's a good thing. She's unhurt. Big rebound. Megan Craig gets across though. Did well again. She shot through traffic. Kick save, rebound, fired again. They've scored. Eleanor Cooper gets a goal back, and in the end there was just too much pressure in and around the crease.
Absolutely, they were struggling with gaining control and getting that puck off to the sides or in the corners, and unfortunately the goalie couldn't get a handle on it, and next thing you know it's up over her shoulder.
Yeah, I mean they were queuing up to put it in the end really, just couldn't clear their lines. That makes it interesting.
This is what I was saying earlier, if they can't get it out of their zone then they could be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, yes he did say that, yeah. And that's proved to be the case. Quite prophetic words there, Carl, as it's just about kept inside the zone. And you see Shadows working hard. They'll giving themselves a foothold back in this game now. South Sumner just stood her ground there more than anything. Hazel Wilson ran into looked like she ran into a wall by the way she bounced off her, but she seems to be okay. But Hazel Wilson in the wars in this shift, really.
Well, I think she was tired at that point because she'd put in a long shift, and just sometimes that physical play is enough to take it out of you.
Yeah. There's good work by Danielle Turnbull, digging the corner out by the boards, and then it's a give and go from South Sumner and a return from Claire Turnbull. And then for a second time, those three linking up very well indeed. Played back by Turnbull. Gets a return pass from Emma Painter and tried to go, attempted wraparound perhaps, kicked clear, and then it's rebounded in. It looped up, you could sense it was going to go into the back of the net. That's exactly what's happened, and just like that the Beacons restore their 3-goal advantage.
That was a great play actually. I mean, just the way they worked it from the corner up to the D got it back down low, brought it around the back of the net, traffic in front, and a shot, rebound, and in it went.
Yeah, so 4-1 Beacons. It was one of them where you could sort of see the goal coming in slow motion, couldn't you? You could just, the trajectory of the puck, you knew where it was going to end up.
Absolutely. And being first to that puck makes the difference, and that's what they did.
Yeah. Maybe Coulshaw collects her glove, which come off in that challenge. Moving Newlands to feed Steph Towns, who will carry in. Big wind-up shot and scores. And I think it took a deflection off the stick there with Kirsty Robson, but Townsy won't care. She'll take that one, and it's 5-1 Beacons.
That was a shot that found that top far corner again.
Yeah, it did, and well, I think she's been looking for a goal throughout the game. She's got it now. She'll be happy, I'm sure.
I'll put pucks to the net. Hockey 101. Yeah. It's only one way to score.
Timeout called by the Shadows then. I mean, those 2 goals were killer in a way, because having just got themselves back into the contest at 3-1, giving themselves a foothold just like that, we've given up another 2 goals, and well, I guess they're going to call a timeout here just to stop the bleeding somewhat, but at the same time it's still quite a way back from being 5-1 down at Hillheads.
Well, that's it. I mean, still early in the second period. There's still lots of time, so it could go either way. But I think right now Beacons are kind of riding that wave of confidence. So, I mean, they'll be coming hard again.
They will. And not quite 6 minutes played in this second period. 5-1 lead to the Beacons. Abby Rowbottom just exchanging words with one of the players on the Shadows team.
Like one of the younger D, telling her to keep her head up.
Full-born, I think it was. Yeah, possibly. But I think Abby and Caitlin have slotted in perfectly on this Beacons team. I know they'll be looking forward to playing in the Elite League next year, assuming the Beacons earn promotion. Well, stage one of that is making sure they win this league, and as it stands, they're going to do just that. As Steph Town's almost stolen for a second one there.
Well, I think it's going to be a bit of a hard go. They're going to have that playoff weekend and then a relegation game on the Monday.
Yeah, it's the schedule's not been kind to them. 3 early morning face-offs, assuming, of course, they get to a playoff final on the Sunday as well. But as it stands, then yes, obviously they'll win this league and they'll play Bristol on the Monday. But they've got to get through 2 grueling playoff games, and one of which could be well against Sheffield. They could meet in the final, assuming Sheffield finish second. And with the likes of Milton Keynes, Kingston or Swindon all being part of it, it's we're not going to be an easy matchup for any of the teams, really.
No, exactly. But I think it'll be a true test of character for the Beacons, just to see their resilience.
It will. I mean, the aim now has got to be to try and go 19-0 and win every single game this season. But so long as they win game number 19, that's all that matters in the grand scheme of things, and earn that promotion back to the top flight, back where they belong.
Well, so far so good.
Yeah, it certainly is. As Casey Trell will gather. Becky Castner-Wood with a pass out wide to Kate Ord. Rowan Yellett Bilby will read it well, as she has done all weekend. Played up along by the Zamboni entrance.
It's the neutral zone game they're struggling with a bit right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit scrappy in the middle third, isn't it? And carried back through by the Shadows. Good tie-up work by Becky Castlewood over on the far side. Kate Ord helps the puck on its way. And it's a shot on net in the end, actually. It was more than just a dump in. But I think she just wanted to get the change done, but it turned into being quite a decent shot, really.
It was a good one because there was no icing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
shot.
yeah. Forced Kirsty Robson into making some sort of a save at least as well, so that kept her occupied. And you just don't know, because
absolutely
could easier took a weird deflection off something and just caused her some trouble.
Stranger things have happened.
Well, they have, yeah. As Ashling Rafter plays out. Over to Claire Turnbull, and then Shadows doing some good work along the right wing boards for them. Sumner again works it free alongside the Shadows bench. Now Claire Turnbull down the left wing. Pokes clear only as far as Danielle Turnbull forces a save back to Ashling Rafter, switches over to Rachel Stockdale, but then Eleanor Cooper steals in. She was a goal scorer for the Shadows earlier on, but great defensive coverage there by Ashling Rafter, who stuck with her and stripped her of the puck.
Icing waved off here. It's a good attack by the Beacons. Pressure and low.
Play forward, just out of the reach of Claire Turnbull. Not related, but on the same line, Danielle and Claire.
And a good hockey name.
It is, yeah. Both work so well on this Beacons team. Claire, this is her first season with the Beacons, and she's again been another positive addition as Abby Coulshaw looks to charge free. Be covered well though by Walsh, number 11, who's having a good game for the Shadows, I think. And then flicked clear at Steph Towns. Oh, just unlucky the puck just got away from her. And she's stolen past Leeming. Towns going again. Alison Brown with a vital poke check.
It's a bit of a reverse flick by Steph Towns there. That was weird.
It was a bit, yeah. As Abby Coulshaw gets in behind, fires, forces the rebound from Kirsty Robson, comes back out. There'll be played back by Steph Towns, who'll get the return from Emma Painter. And then Ruby Newlands will collect behind the net. And welcome to all the Ruby's family listening in Scotland. The Caledonian branch of the Beacon supporters group. As controlled nicely by Steph Towns again, with pressure coming in from Alison Brain, who's almost doing like a marking job on her, isn't she? If it was football, you would say it was you've got somebody doing a sort of man marking job, as it were. But being quite effective though. Trying to keep
absolutely.
The Whitley player coach quiet. Now Steph will gather again. Stretch pass. Oh, it was almost a beautiful pass there to Iona Harrison. But Iona will battle into her boards.
She's first up, first to the puck.
She always is. She's so quick to. She's so tenacious, isn't she? Where she plays as Becky Castlewood goes for a one-timer.
Wow.
Forces a good save out of Kirsty Robson, but
alone in the high slot with a pass out front. Whew.
Yeah,
That's usually her bread and butter.
it is. Force a save though, and we'll get a face-off in the offensive zone, which Becky Castlewood will take. Iona Harrison will stay out on this line with her. It works back to Abby Rowbottom, who fires, goes through traffic. Kirsty Robson will stop and then set the puck up for one of their defenders. Sent back through. And Harrison with a nice little poke check, tried to get the return pass, which he did. But Sheffield doing good with that close sort of close checking game that they're trying. And, carried in on the far side.
It's good use of the boards by the Shadows there. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can't make a direct pass, get it off the boards. And I mean, so far they've had success with that, getting through the neutral zone.
Yeah, it's almost like a 6 teammate at times, isn't it?
That's
if you work it well.
Absolutely. The boards are your best friend when you need them for a pass, but
Yeah.
they're your worst enemy when you're taking that hit from the biggest player on the ice.
Yeah, I can well imagine.
Here goes Iona.
Yeah, she's yelled at Bilby, just cut across her there because I think she sensed she was going to be skating down. She just closed the door on it. Those two matched up well yesterday in the game in Sheffield. And good to see them both playing for the senior teams of their respective clubs. Judy Brown with a shot, forces Megan Craig into a kick save. It's away from danger. Good play by yesterday's goaltender as well, Jess Kinghorn, who played through what was a chest infection, had a fantastic game though, only give up 2 goals.
Wow, well done for her.
Yeah, she was struggling at the end, but you wouldn't have known it to have seen her during the game. It was such a strong game from her. Mitchell Stocktailed as well, carrying the puck up along the boards as we reach the latter stages of this second period. A 5-1 lead to the Beacons.
So what was that call? So I thought Blue brought it back in their own zone.
Yeah, unless they're saying
Icing? But that
intentional offside. Yeah, I'm at a loss to be honest with that one, Carl. But anyway, it's brought the play back into the Beacon zone. And the Cooper works some space for herself, and then shot coming in from Reed, number 72, who centres this third line for the Shadows.
It's a nice inside-outside move by the Shadows.
It was. Good play by Danielle Turnbull, who's having a very strong game, which she always does. It's in behind. Oh, tried to go short side there. Works back. It's just under 7 minutes remaining in this second period. Cleared by Caitlin Stocks. And Abby Rowbottom as well on a D pairing. No, sorry, Ashton Raft in fact was on a D pairing, I should say. As Stocks will send it around the boards. It will slowly make its way to South Sumner. Must have just got delayed up along it with the snow that's probably accumulated. I'm only guessing because we can't really see from this angle, but at this stage in the game you'd expect a bit of snow there.
Well, that's it. Anytime you see a decrease in acceleration by the puck, it's snow.
Yeah. Calculated guess as Leeming will jump back, but again nice and cool on the Beacon, so that'll bring the play back with 6:16 left in the period.
Well, I think the Shadows were lucky on that last one where they dumped that puck all the way down the ice, because it could have been icing, but of course the snow slowed it down and stopped the icing.
Yeah. Face off to the right of Megan Craig's goal as she is currently looking at it. Hazel Wilson and Danielle Turnbull going for the draw. It's come out the zone, so Sheffield are offside. They've touched it, so that'll be brought out.
All the way down?
Yeah. Yeah, you could see they just hadn't reacted and the puck had come over the line, but they had two shirts still in the offensive zone. And I think in the end it was the number 36 who touched it, Reynolds.
It's a hard one. I mean, I think she knew they were in there. She was just hoping they'd have enough time to get out and tag up and then re-enter the zone. Yeah, I think so. There's Painter, plays it across to Abby Coulshaw. Try to feed Steph Towns. It will still go into the offensive zone, forces Grace Leeming to clear over onto the far side. Sorry, no, well, that was Leeming, it was O'Brien, I should say. And they've scored again, have they, the Beacons? That's crept in. Didn't actually see that one go in, the lights come on. Steph Towns is wheeling away. And it's now 6-1 Beacons. So did you get a good view of that one, Carl? Absolutely. It was a great little play, because it was like... I'm not sure who it was behind the net, but I mean, it was a quick pass behind the net, and Steph cutting to the front, and she was just able to put that puck just far enough in front that she got a stick on it, and in that little corner it went. That's at least 2 for her then, in terms of points. So is that 4 more to go? I believe so, unless she got one earlier on in the game on an assist. Might have got one on Ruby's goal. I'm not too sure. Need to find out perhaps what the game sheet looks like. Works its way back to Ruby Newlands, who carries in. Ooh, puck just getting away from it. Allowed Grace Leeming to make the challenge and clear. And a Painter will come across. Sends it back to Ruby Newlands. Nice play to Abby Coulshaw. Similar setup to that goal, it's just that pass down low. Yeah, it is. Coulshaw again to Towns, gets a return, fired, but Kirsty Robson had that glove side well covered off. Works back to Painter, whose shots charged down by Judy Brown. Coulshaw doing well. It's nice to see them activating the defense like that. It opens up that ice quite a bit. Yeah, it does. I think that was maybe one of the problems they couldn't do last year, was getting the defence really working with the offence. It was almost like 2 separate units at times, wasn't it? Absolutely, that's it. And I mean, you need everybody on the ice to be a part of it. You do. There's a nice bit of play here as they'll break out to Butcher, almost squeezed home, but it's good link-up play there between her line mate. And almost a second goal for the Shadows with 4:25 left in the second period. Good goalie awareness there to pick up that loose puck cutting across the front. Yeah, it was. She's very sharp, is Megan Craig. She had a good training session in the week, I was hearing from her father. I expect nothing less. She's been such an asset to the club. And obviously, along with Ruby Newlands, also having some Elite League experience with the Kingston Diamonds this season, so that's all good. Nice blocker save by Megan Craig. She's really kept Kingston in the game in a couple of clashes they've had this season with, I think it was Solihull and Guildford, which just getting away from Becky Castlewood, a bit of frustration there, a cry of despair. She'll go again. She never stops battling all game though, does she? No, and I think the big thing for her is she was being challenged by Hazel Taylor there. She was right on her tail, and it's just kind of a little loss of control with that puck. Yeah, I guess it's even more frustrating when it's your friend that's that you're losing out to, isn't it? You want to try and prove yourself a little bit more in some ways. As shot comes in, Abby Rowbottom will just sort of control up with her knee, just gets an edge on it to get it away. And it's good play this by the Shadows as Cooper, it's come loose, has it? Taylor tried to crash that one home, but again, I think Megan Craig must have just reacted to kick that one clear. She was screened, so I didn't really see much of it. I just saw the puck come back out, but
That's one of her trademarks, is she gets across the line so quick, as Becky Castle-Wood forces a low glove save from Kirsty Robson.
Well, and now they get a face-off inside the zone, get the tired legs off the ice, get a new line out there.
Yeah, it was a long shift for Becky's unit there.
Well, it was crazy. I mean, again, it's just snow on the ice, slowing the progress of that puck forward, and, you know, them getting hemmed in their zone again and just trying to keep control.
Yeah. Won by Danielle Turnbull, but the Shadows looking to break clear until Casey Trail gets in the way, and then she was brought down. That's not a good sign.
No, that was awkward. I mean, I'm not sure how sore her hips are generally, but I mean, that's the kind of thing you don't want to see when you've been nursing an old injury.
Yeah, she's getting it relatively quick, which is a good sign, so I suspect her hips are okay, given the position she's currently in. I don't know if it was maybe a contact on her knee, because I thought that might have been the primary contact, which is what appended her. Hopefully, if that is the case, and it isn't her hips that have bore the brunt of it. But one would suspect, if you're in a position like that, you wouldn't be sort of doing that, would you? If it was your hips that were hurting, if that makes sense. But she's being attended to, and the teammates just having a look. Might have just knocked the stuffing out of her. Let's hope that's all it is and nothing more.
Exactly.
She is slowly, tentatively getting up. But I mean, that's really the first hefty blow she's taken, I think, since coming back from the operation. So in some ways it can be a blessing, because it gives you a bit of confidence to think, well, I've tested them out and they're okay, sort of thing.
Well, that situation right there, she was actually trying to stick handle in that phone box.
Yes.
And unfortunately the phone box bit back.
It did. It did indeed. As I say, she's sort of kneeling now. So again, she's talking. She doesn't seem to be in too much pain, which I would imagine if she was, she'd be a bit more animated. But she's slowly getting up now. So okay, that's good to see. I think she's fine. We can breathe again. But yes, she's.
Take a bow.
Take a bow, yeah. She's okay. She can joke about it now, which is fantastic. And a positive reaction. But allowed both teams to go back to a bench for a bit, an enforced timeout, if you like, with just under 3 minutes left in the period.
Yep, a well-needed breather for both of them.
Yeah, but I did worry for a second there when I saw her go down, but...
yeah, I was going to say the face-off should be on the outside, because that was the Beacons player that went down and forced a stoppage of play.
Indeed it is, as Steph Towns will take the draw. Ruby Newlands. It's one timer for Steph Towns, who just fired only inches wide of that goal frame. Might even have nicked past it. In fact, big rebound. Kirsty Robson will gather back in with Ruby Newlands ready to pounce.
I sure like that quick release by Steph. Holy moly, that was going.
Yeah, she's when she wraps her stick round them, it's like a cannon, isn't it, the way the puck gets fired?
Absolutely.
I'll be full short. Shots charged down. Good play that by the number 36 for the Shadows, Reynolds. Comes back through for Newlands, who fires, and that was a great save by Kirsty Robson, who was at full stretch doing the splits and then just slung the glove up top shelf and picked it out of thin air. What a save that was.
Well, considering she was hidden behind some bodies there and couldn't really see where that puck was at all, but got that hand out so fast.
Yeah, save of the game for me, that.
Well, it's amazing because, I mean, it shows too how hard that shot was, that you could hear the sound of that puck hitting the glove from up here.
Yeah, it almost pinged like it had hit the pipes, you would have thought, if your eyes had been deceiving you.
Well, that's it, and there's nothing mic'd down there for the fans at home to hear.
She certainly hit it strongly, as Coulshaw does likewise. That was hit through traffic, diverted away. Newlands to Towns, back to Newlands. Some poke checks going in from Grace Leeming over on that far side. But Ruby Newlands doing well, wins the puck back to Steph Towns. Tried to feed Coulshaw, who controlled it with a high stick, but not given. But she's so good at controlling the puck in mid-air. Coulshaw shuffling her way through the defence there and almost got a shot off. Back to Coulshaw again. Leeming sticking with her. Works it back to Aisling Rafter. And Newlands, Coulshaw again with Newlands up there with her. As Towns are back to goal. Still got the shot off, mind, and that was a difficult one to execute. And
from foot to stick and shot, that was incredible.
It was. Her balance would have been off onto her other foot as well, as she was controlled in that way. And defensive coverage, I'm still amazed. I mean, it could only have been millimetres wide of the target. And a little over a minute remaining in the period now. Shadows will flick in with Walsh, one of the alternate captains for the Shadows, as O'Brien comes on in their place now. You can push back here a little bit.
Snow's haunting everybody.
It is, yeah. Over they go into the corner, work back loose for Rachel Butcher. Shot just flashes wide. Shadows will regather. They're ending the second period in the ascendancy here. Cooper, well, they started the period well, they're ending it strongly too, but in the middle of that they've given up 3 more goals, and that's pretty much been the tail of the tape. Game getting away from them, but they're still battling hard as Kate Orr blows a tyre on the far side.
Still in control, well done.
Yeah, she did well to stick with it. Worked free. And then tried to control round, attempted wraparound by Becky Castor-Ward. Follow-up shot from Kimberly Brennan forces Kirsty Robson into the save, and she'll hold on with just over 6 seconds remaining.
Well, nice little pressure down low there. All 3 of them had opportunities for putting that puck on net.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they really did. Lots to go again here. Low glove save by Kirsty Robson once again with exactly 1 second remaining. So there will be just enough time to drop the puck and not much else.
Well, it's amazing with time ticking down there and still able to get a shot off on that before the clock.
You would have seen it done in the NHL. And that will do it then for the second period. And one where the Beacons extended their lead. We will take another short break, and we will be back with you in around about 3 minutes time, so please do not go anywhere. Welcome back to Hillheads then for the start of the third and final period. And Carl Wood 20 minutes away from potentially the Beacons being crowned Division 1 champions.
Well, I mean, the scoreline here is making it look that way for sure. So get through this period, maybe add to your total.
Yeah, well, I've had a quick look at the game sheet there in the break, which is why I'm out of breath because I had to run around to the other side of the rink and back again in just over 2 minutes. As that one's almost crept in by Iona Harrison. Great start from the Beacons. I can confirm that Steph Towns has 1 goal and 1 assist, so 2 points. She requires another 4 to get the record.
Well done.
So I did want to just clarify that so that, you know, it would be nothing worse if we missed the actual 1,000th point, wouldn't it? So good to know. Steph Towns works it back from the draw, but Yellett Bilby looking to get away here, and she looks like she is, but Abby Coulshaw sticking with her, and Anna Cooper made it a 2 against 1 for a second there, but great play by the Whitley captain.
And the snow, which is everybody's enemy.
Indeed, yeah, but it is going to degrade in the third period, of course, with no ice cuts.
Ooh, some good physical play.
Yeah, physical play by Abby Coulshaw, who's used to that, having playing for the Bradford Bulldogs in the men's league. She doesn't need anyone protecting her. She can fight her own battle. She's a tough little cookie, let me tell you that. And that's why it's got her where she has, I think, tenacity and as well as her talent.
Well, it's just the way hockey's played. It's how you have to go in there.
Yeah, there's always that question every year. Oh, Yellett Bilby fans on that one. Or was it Kim Brengan actually doing some good stick work from behind? Perhaps might have just done enough to put her off. The Shadows will work it back. Always that question about whether there should be full contact like it is in the men's sport. A lot of the girls do play against men to begin with, so there is an argument that they could do it. As Kimberly Brengan fires just wide, it was a lovely little move that though.
Wow.
Cut back onto her forehand.
That was an 80-mile-an-hour shot.
Wasn't it just, yeah. You wouldn't have wanted to stop that one. Would have stung the palms, I'm sure. So, that's carried in by Yellett Bilby, who is getting forward a lot more in this third period. Possibly given licence to do so by the coach, who's, she's young. She'll be got energy in them legs. And certainly loves to get forward and scored a cracking goal yesterday for the Shadows B. But, again, though, 5 goals down, the Shadows haven't switched off here. They're still pushing and just trying to win some battles and just take 1 goal at a time, I guess.
Yeah, played a last whistle.
Yeah. Comes in. I mean, coming in here, of course, they're going to try and keep their title aspirations alive, but realistically they probably knew it was always going to be tough. The Beacons not having lost a game all season, as a rebound saw the shot just looped over.
Well, I think that's the thing. The word around the league is that this is the team to beat. So who's going to be the first team to take them down? Yeah,
well, there's still some, I mean, just because it could be job done today in some respects, but still 3 games to go, and a couple of tough road trips to Kingston and Milton Keynes, and I would suspect those would be arguably the toughest games of the season, because they're two teams that give the Beacons problems here at home. So Kingston are always strong. They always give Whitley a strong game, and MK are quite physical, as Hazel Wilson flattened somebody. I didn't see who went down.
Flattened a teammate.
Oh, was it our teammate? Yeah. Comes back out.
It was a crushing blow in the corner to her own teammate.
She'll probably remind her about that afterwards.
Absolutely.
There's Emma Painter gathers. As Becky Castlewood takes a tumble. The Professor.
Yep. Again, it's the ice today.
It is. The Professor, as I call her, she's a teacher in real life, but great at teaching the younger players the game of hockey as well, and a sort of Scottish version of Igor Larionov, if you like.
Oh, she'd like to hear that one.
Yeah, well, somebody I admired massively growing up when he played for the Detroit Red Wings. As Aisling Rafter will clear. Yeah, it's not a bad compliment to have, is it? If you're going to be compared to a hockey player, it's
Absolutely. And I mean, she never stops teaching people.
yeah, and which is why anyone can play on her line, really, because she is so good at bringing the best out of others. Again, another comparison, she's a bit like a Sidney Crosby in that respect. You could put anyone on her line and she could extract the best out of them.
Or Mark Messier.
Yeah, there you go. I'm going to go with Crosby because he's a Penguins player.
Or we'll give her a Haley Wickenheiser.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's a good female comparison.
Yeah, or Geraldine Heaney.
Yes, yeah, indeed. As the Shadows will slowly build their way back up the ice. Again, Aisling Rafter with a good challenge. Just over 5 minutes played in this third and final period. Just dividing the periods up into 5-minute sections as it gets ever closer to that final buzzer, and the championship coming their way, and Megan Craig will cover that one up.
I think one of the things that's holding the Shadows back a little bit here is when they get in that offensive zone, they're just overpassing it a little bit. They've just got to take the opportunities to shoot when they can and then be there for the rebound.
Yeah. Shot comes in, turned aside by Megan Craig once again, but Eleanor Cooper, who's asking most of the questions where he shot. Oh, that was almost directed, I thought, towards goal then, but it was actually a nice deft deflection by Stockers. But yeah, Cooper, who got that goal earlier on, and well, she's gone close since then as well. And then almost turned aside by Reed. She almost got an edge on it and just nicked it into the net.
It's good work down low by the Shadows.
It is, and I mean, throughout parts of this game, they've been really strong. They've just not been able to piece it all together all at once, I guess. There's also a lovely drop with a shoulder by Steph Towns, gets a shot off. In full flight there. That was almost her second goal of the game.
That's it, 200 feet up the ice from corner to corner she went. Yeah. That was terrific.
And I mean, talking about role models, and there's one right there for you. And made a lot of this 1,000th point between her and her father, Paul, who was a fantastic goal-scoring winger for the Whitley Warriors here. So Abby Coulshore fires. So to have a father-daughter combination like that in world hockey for, well, they're not the same club, obviously, but same to be playing out of the same rink and they come through the same junior system, as it were. I don't think you could have this anywhere else in world hockey, as a Carl. You'd probably know better than me. In Canada,
I
perhaps.
mean, one of the things I'm thinking about is just Mark Messier. Like 1957, his father played for the Nottingham Panthers.
Indeed, he did, yeah.
And then Mark was drafted as a 17-year-old into the World Hockey League.
That's true, yeah. That's a father-son combination, and I suppose you could say Bobby and Brett Hull as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, father-daughter, I think that's got to be quite unique in world hockey. But which is great to hear as well, and the fact that it involves both senior teams out of Whitley Bay, the Warriors and the Beacons, is impressive too. As Reed carries in, shot comes in, big rebound gathered up. Of course, Mike Babcock was a former teammate and coach of Paul Towns when he was here and he's playing days, so that's not a bad
no, that's
teammate to have on your resume, is it?
Well, I think this is the thing. It's like the future of hockey, and just kind of having women playing hockey and getting the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah, absolutely. And Paul Towns, who played his whole career with the Warriors, never played for another team. And Steph, always been with the Beacons, or the Squaws as they were known previously. Do it for one team, as it were, is another impressive stat as Becky Castlewood comes down these left wing boards.
Yeah, playing for that one team these days is such a hard thing for anybody now.
It is. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the girls on this current team are playing for multiple teams this season, never mind throughout their career. So, yeah, to do it for just the one is very impressive. And Kate Ord tries to steer that one home. But Kirsty Robson just about had it covered, I think, on that near post, with just under 12 minutes remaining now.
Yep, good pressure. They're keeping it up. They're practicing good habits. It's good to see. It's easy to kind of let things slip when you're up with a score like this and you're in the last period.
Yeah, it is. It's just keeping that concentration and managing the clock, I guess, as much as anything now. As the Shadows will build another attack. It's a attempted poke check by Saf Sumner, but I think Hazel Wilson's momentum saw her come into the zone anyway.
I think her own momentum took her out of that play.
I think it did, yeah. As back come the Beacons then with Claire Turnbull. Play up from East Kilbride in Glasgow.
A long drive down this morning then.
Yeah, it would be her and Aisling, I think, share duties, share driving. Kimberley either travels with them or with Megan Craig, depending on I think the lift situation, but it's good that they can car share and share the troubles. As that shot from South Sumner went through traffic, turned aside, and that one goes straight through the crease from Danielle Turnbull.
This is a good third line flurry here, just this pressure in the offensive zone and getting pucks to the net.
Yeah, it absolutely is, and you've got to give a lot of credit, I think, to Danielle Turnbull, who really sets a good example and centering that line. And
absolutely.
The wingers just follow suit, and it's working well, I think, as a line.
Well, they're causing them fits right now. The Shadows can't get it out.
Oh, and Aisling Rafter almost got that one home, just steered wide. But I think there was a considerable amount of pressure coming in by the Shadows just to put her off. The Shadows will clear. Vicky Smith will control. Coolshaw's open. Played it along the boards. Sav Sumner will help it on its way. Yellett Bilby with a couple of good poke checks there just to break the play up. And almost deeps back inside once again. Coolshaw out to Steph Towns, who fires off the end boards as we approach in the midpoint of this final period. Rachel Stockdale across to Casey Trail. She'll get the return pass from Steph Towns. Good to see Casey back out there. She lofts that one up for a high glove save by Kirsty Robson. She'll release to Yellett Bilby. And gathered back by O'Brien. Off the boards, almost kept in by Steph Towns on the far side, and then helped on its way by Casey Trail.
Yeah, she jumped in at the right time there to keep that puck alive.
She did, yeah. Did it well. Carried in by Ruby Newlands. Drop pass to Steph Towns, who fires over the face of the goal and into the corner. As it comes back for Coolshaw. And then the Shadows will carry into the offensive zone. Shot comes in and Megan Craig gets a piece of it. Let's see an effort coming in off the left wing of Fulbourn, the number 50. Abby Coolshaw gets the shot off. Nice little stutter step move there as she got it under control.
It was, again, a great sequence of plays coming up from the back end. It was a quick out, up over the blue line through the neutral zone, attack the offense, and a quick shot on goal. I mean, I almost thought that goalie backed into the net so far that she almost brought that puck in herself.
Yes, she did, didn't she? As Kate Ord will receive from Becky Castner-Wood. Shots charged down. Great to have Kate Ord back this season, back among the goals. There's a nice clearance by Abby Rowbottom. Becky Castner-Wood will control, sends it over onto the far boards. It will be controlled by Walsh. Kimberly Brennan with Rachel Butcher going towards her. Grace Leeming will carry out. Nice pass, shuffled forward to Judy Brown. Good poke check by Abby Rowbottom again, who's having a very good shift indeed. Into the path of Kim Brennan, who gets tied up a little bit there with Walsh, who's done a good job defensively. The back off the boards. And on the far side, we'll find Brennan. Shots again, cannons back off the boards, comes across.
It's a bit slow on the D jumping in on that play to keep it alive.
Yeah.
She's almost there.
Becky Castner-Wood doing a good job of getting back. Abby Rowbottom getting tangled up there. Had two players to deal with. As Caitlin Stocks is alongside her now to help her out. Kim Brennan over to Kate Ord. in this 5-player unit working well.
Strange pass, that one.
It was maybe a little bit unorthodox, shall we say, as Brengan onto Turnbull, who flicks on and will chase. 7.5 minutes remaining. As I say, it's well, the Beacons, if they will complete this victory today, they will clinch top spot. They will be crowned Division 1 champions. They'll get the trophy at the finals weekend in Sheffield at the end of May, so they won't get it today. And, kick saved, turned aside by Megan Craig. But, I mean, that's only half the story, Carl, isn't it? Because as nice as it is to get the trophy, it's about regaining promotion. And, of course, you don't get promotion with this by winning the league, which is a bit absurd in many ways. It means they have to have that playoff with Bristol at that playoff weekend. So it literally won't be decided until the final puck is dropped at the end of the season.
Absolutely, and I think the thing about getting up into the Elite League, it's identity for the Beacons, to show that they are contenders and they deserve to be there. So, I mean, that is the bottom line for them.
Yeah, and I'd have to say the way they've played this season, yes, of course, they're playing against teams that perhaps aren't as strong as what they are in the Elite League, let's be honest, but you've got to say that the way they've played themselves, that they probably would have been stronger in the Elite this year had they have stayed up. And I think, there's a lot more even spread across the league, I think.
Well, I think the thing with this is that being here has helped them develop more of their team game, and we were talking earlier about, connecting the forwards with the defense so that it is a more rounded game.
Yeah.
And confidence is another big part of it too. So they're playing with a great amount of confidence here, and that's what they'll take forward, if they are able to make that leap up to the Elite League again.
Yeah, that's true. Well, nice work there by Ruby Newlands. Did enough to put Yellett Bilby off, but then Shadows will steal it back. But yes, it's got them back playing and winning again and scoring goals again and getting confidence up, if nothing else. And the one-timer from Steph Towns forces Kirsty Robson into a save, and prior to that, some really good work by Abby Coulshaw.
That was an instinct shot by Steph. She wasn't even looking at the net. She knew where it was directly and just let it go.
Muscle memory, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's, I think, looking at around the league, I don't think Guildford have been as strong this year as they were last year. I think Kingston lost some senior players, although, to be fair, that core group of youngsters is very, very good indeed. And I think Streatham indeed lost a lot of their players over the summer. So you would have fancied the Beacons to have maybe collected more points this year had they stayed up. So that bodes well for next year, if nothing else, as the shot comes in and forces Megan Craig into a stop once again with exactly 5 minutes to go.
Well, the thing is too, it's like, yeah, maybe you're playing in a lower division here, but the hockey is still good, and you've still got to be smart about what you're doing.
Yeah,
Don't practice those bad habits.
I mean, that Kingston Diamonds team in this league isn't too different to the one in the Elite. It's the same core group of youngsters, as I said. If you're under 23, you can play for both teams. So it is pretty much the same team. So there's that. You could argue that you've played an elite team in that respect. And the Fire Bees have got a lot of the players there from the Queen Bees. I know they've struggled of late, but when the Beacons played them earlier on in the season, they gave them 2 really strong games. So, like I say, there's positives to be had.
Absolutely,
and
absolutely.
I think next season, if they do go up, there's nothing to be afraid of. I think they can give it a good shot, and I think they'll be stronger for the experience of last year as well.
Alan, there's been the challenges here. There's no question about it.
Yeah, I mean, people will see that with this win they'll go, was it 13-0? But that only tells one story. It doesn't say how hard they've had to battle at times this season. Thinking of Milton Keynes, both games against, the shot comes in, that'll be said by Kirsty Robson, both games against the Fire Bees, both games against Swindon, game against Sheffield at Sheffield just before Christmas, and of course a game against Kingston on the opening game of the season when they were behind, and it took them a while to really grind out that 2-1 win. So they've worked for it, there's no doubt about that, but they've got a strong team now. And I would back this team. I'd fancy this team to take anyone on next year. Obviously, Solihull are kind of in a league of their own right now, and you know, even the Queen Bees struggle against them. So, but aside from that, I would fancy us to take anyone on.
Well, Becky's directed traffic down there. She's got Kador behind her, ready to receive this face-off.
Ooh, attempted one-timer by Kim Brengan, who was trying to stab that one home. She never gives up either, does she? Fantastic player to watch. And that's what I've liked about really these last couple of seasons, is the players that have been brought in from outside the area, from the likes of Scotland and in Sheffield as well. It complements what we already had on our doorstep. It's forged almost like a northern super team, as it were.
Yeah, absolutely.
As Erna Harrison has the puck. Abby Rowbottom was calling for it for a drop pass, I think. As Danielle Turnbull goes close, you can see the snow mounting up around that goal now.
Snowbanks.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as a goalie, though, that's your best friend, isn't it, at times?
That's it, for sure. Well, it's nice to see the Beacons playing in the offensive zone.
Yes,
a lot, just killing time.
Yeah, as we said before, managing the clock. They've not added to the scoreline in this period. They didn't need to. Just needed to keep that advantage. 5 goals, just under 3 minutes remaining now. And keep doing the simple things right, and that's what they've done. And we are less than 3 minutes away from being crowned champions. South Sumner will collect. As a commentator, it's not been often that I've got to celebrate the fact that my team has won something. I think this is only will be the 3rd time in it happening in my career, so it'll be nice to see, nice to experience from my point of view.
Well, that's it, and I'm a Toronto Maple Leaf fan, so I've never seen it.
Yeah, they're my Canadian team. So, something one time by Cooper, just stroke wide. So, yeah, not much joy there. Nice and lovely low glove save by Megan Craig as well. Yeah, the Whitley Warriors winning the league just prior to the lockdown in the 2019-20 season. Beacons B winning Division 1 last season. And now Beacons A about to win, well, which is the new Division 1, but in old money was known as the Premier League. So a third championship I would have called on home ice as well. Shot comes through traffic. Megan Craig will hold on. Less than 2 minutes remaining now, minute 55 to be precise.
It's a good shot by Hazel Taylor there. She found that puck just off that face-off circle, got turned around and got a shot on net.
Yeah.
She's always a threat.
She is indeed. Cooper will leave it. It was played along the boards by the D, just behind her. I think it was O'Brien. It was indeed. Puck just getting caught up behind the net. Shadows will dig it back out. Off the boards, comes back to O'Brien. Will fire, but didn't get too much muscle on that shot. Allows Steph Towns to stroke the pass out to Ruby Newlands, who does a sort of half spinorama before returning the pass, and then feeds Cool Short low for a one-timer. Minute 25 remaining. Towns again. Got a shot off, but I think O'Brien just diverted it away. Cool Short up along the boards. Look back for a one-timer again by Steph Towns from an acute angle. But I tell you what, I mean, you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the raffle. It wasn't off by much, was it?
For sure. Kind of like to see them just control it inside that zone. If they can kill that time by keeping possession inside the zone,
yeah,
be less risky.
Oh! She scored. Towns is on fire. Your defence is terrified. 7-1. She only needs 3 more points. And I was just about to say, before that goal went in, the hands on Ruby Newlands there, going forehand to backhand, and just the confidence that she's got.
Absolutely, and the change in direction on her skates, incredible.
Yeah.
That was quite a goal there, right down the middle, 5-hole between the goalie's legs.
It was, yeah, and well, she needed 6 points coming into this game. She only needs another 3 now, so I think a 3-point game against the Shadows is pretty good afternoon's work, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Second best team in the league, and means that potentially in the next game she can get the record, which will be way to Kingston next week. High glove save by Kirsty Robson. Is that a game you could potentially make next week, Carl?
Absolutely. I've got 2 weeks holiday.
Oh, excellent.
This is my hockey holidays.
So you can join me on comms for that one then.
That's it, brother.
Great stuff.
Well, that puck came up high initially,
Yeah,
caught the
it
goalie
did.
in the face, and it just dropped right down into her gloves. So
Yeah, she's got a helmet off there, Kirsty Robson, for just over 35 seconds remaining, but just catching her breath, I guess. I mean, them ones must shake you up a little bit if you're taking a shot with that ferocity in the cage.
well, that's it. That was a solid shot. And I mean, yeah, you have that protection of the helmet so that you don't get all the scars and cuts and bruising. But I mean, your brain still takes
Still rings
the
the
brunt
bell.
of that. Yeah, absolutely.
So the smelling salts are brought out for her, just to, I
Put me
think
in,
perhaps.
Coach.
Yeah.
Coach says it's okay if my ears bleed.
Yeah. Chris Lutt's having a discussion as well, and I mean, with 35 seconds to go, you could possibly just let the clock run essentially, and just if she wasn't able to continue, but she has put a helmet back on, so presumably she can
Continue, yeah.
But I mean, at this late stage of a game, is it particularly necessary for her own safety to, you could just say,
6 skaters.
well, yeah, exactly, you could do that, yeah, and I'm sure the Beacons wouldn't take the mick. They would just
Respect.
exactly, yes, exactly. But she does look good to continue, which is pleasing to see.
Well done.
Yeah,
She's a gamer.
she certainly is, and it's time to take this offensive zone face-off then. Becky Castlewood will take the draw, wins it. Shadow's quick to try and push out, but kept in well by Casey Trail. Becky Castlewood will regather. Back to Casey Trail, out to the right wing, and Kimberly Brengan fires. Oh, and it hit the inside of the goal post and back out. I think it was the angle of the post and the bar, wasn't it?
Wow.
It sort of looped in and clung into that top corner and then just rocketed back out again. 10 seconds to go, or just over. Puck up along the boards. If you are back home, prepare to celebrate with seconds to go. And the Whitley Bay Beacons are the Division 1 champions for 2022-2023. An absolute sea of sticks and helmets and gloves flying into the air. They all go over to Megan Craig to congratulate her on the win. And that is a very pleasing sight indeed to see the Beacons in celebratory mode. 7-1 win on the day, and they have clinched the championship.
Well, they deserved it, no question about it. They played like they wanted it.
And a bit of dancing there from Megan Craig as well, as we'll get the formalities of the post-game handshakes out of the way. But I'm quite emotional, Carl. It's great to see, and when you've worked so closely with a team like this for a couple of years, and you see them successful, it's always a pleasing thing. So yeah, while I have a moment.
Well, I think you deserve this too there, brother.
Well, I don't know how much I've done with this other than just be a mouthpiece for the girls, and it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you for joining us, and also for Matthew for streaming the games even, and recording, and it's been a joint effort from the media team, but no, it's all about the girls on the ice, and congratulations to every single one of them. Amongst all this, there was a game played, so your thoughts on play of the game, Carl?
For the Shadows, I'll say number 2.
Yes, Eleanor Cooper, who got the goal early on and looked at a danger throughout. I would agree with that. I think Rowan Yellett-Bilby as well, number 88, had a strong game, continuing on from yesterday. I've been very impressed with her this weekend, and I think she stepped up massively, just even from last season when we last saw her. And for the Beacons,
I'm going to go with Steph Towns.
Yeah.
Played with authority. She knew what she wanted. And my number 2 would be Abby Colshaw.
Yeah, Abby was very strong indeed. I think a good choice for either of them. Craig, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, she's pulled off some great saves as she always does. I'm tempted to go for Danielle Turnbull as well.
Excellent, good call. I was going to say somebody on that third line, because they put in a great effort too.
Indeed, yeah. And the dancing and singing's carrying on. Well, anyone who's been on the Beacons bus this season knows that the singing isn't of the highest quality. It doesn't necessarily match the hockey. I'm sure the girls won't mind me saying that. It's all good banter, and just to see the camaraderie between them is fantastic.
Well, you've been a big support for this team for a long time, from beginning to end, and they appreciate it. There's no question.
Well, I'm just a fan who enjoys doing what I do, and it's just great to be a part of it. And it's fantastic to see them deservedly win this championship. And the Player of the Game award goes to number 58, Such, and it is Abby Coulshaw. So you were spot on there, Carl. One of your choices, one of your picks.
Excellent.
But I'm not going to take anything from this at all. It's I'm just doing what I enjoy doing, and it's I'm very grateful for the Beacons let me be a part of this, to say we've got something there to celebrate with. They'll get the proper trophy in Sheffield at the end of May, and congratulations to every single one of the Beacons who are out there right now. And a fitting song as well, Gloria, from when the St. Louis Blues won the Stanley Cup in 2019. They were kind of my second team in the NHL, so this is a song which brings back good memories for me, of course. It's always good to see the Boston Bruins get beaten in the final. So, looks like they've got something fizzy to spray here, perhaps. Not quite champagne, or is it? Might be something, maybe lager, perhaps. I'm not sure, but Captain Abby Coulshaw is struggling to pop the cork, I think. It's about the only thing that hasn't gone right this season. Yay! There we go. And a bit of football skills there to follow up. And a fantastic way to clinch the championship. There will be a group photograph here as well. And there's still work to be done, Carl. This is trophy one of two, which they're hoping to get. They'll want to add the playoffs to this, but the main thing for this season to achieve is to win that game against Bristol and get promotion back where they belong in the Elite League.
Well, the thing is, right now, it's like they've won this. It's living for the moment, celebrating this victory, and then building up from here.
Yeah, it is. And it's such joyous scenes. I don't want them to end, to be honest. As number one, well, last year when they finished the season, they held six fingers up. They were proud of the fact they finished sixth in the Elite League, even though it meant finishing bottom and being relegated. They were proud of it, and now they're proud of being number one in Division 1.
Absolutely, from one extreme to the other. But I mean, again, they proved that they deserve to be in the Elite League. They weren't beaten every game.
No, they weren't, and it's fantastic to see. There'll be a few more photographs, I'm sure, taking place.
And here's a real champion song.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. And there's going to be a bit of a circle of a huddle here as well, and the girls are going to enjoy this, and who can blame them? Kate Ord, there's a little mini lap of honour in the middle of that circle. She's been a welcome addition coming back this year. Never easy to come back from injury, is it, Carl?
No.
Especially a serious one as hers. And great to see her back out on the ice. She's been somebody I was hoping would return at some stage. And it's been great getting to know her as well as seeing her on the ice.
Yeah, she comes from a big hockey family as well, so I mean it's in her blood.
Yeah, brother Jamie plays for the Warriors. Well, that just about ends the celebrations, I think. The Beacons, though, they'll be back on ice next weekend, next Sunday, when they make the short trip down to Humberside to take on the Kingston Diamonds. So hopefully we will bring that one to you. But in the meantime, just like to thank you all for tuning in. I've been Adam Matman, and joining me has been Carl Wood. And it's been a pleasure as always, and good to see you. For now, it's thank you and good night.